In this video, we're going to show you how to replace the headlights on your Toyota Highlander. The process is going to be the same for both sides. We're going to remove the engine splash shield. There's 14 10mm bolts and 3 clips. Remove the clips. Go around and remove our 10mm bolts. To remove the front bumper, we'll start by removing half of the wheel arch molding. There's 2 10mm. There's usually a clip right here that you would remove with a pair of clip pliers. Once you have your 10mm out, pull the front guard up and off. There's little rivets that are sitting inside of the plastic for the wheel arch molding. Once you have a bit of access to the back of the fender liner, there's going to be a little clip in here, and you're going to push towards the front of the car on that clip. Use a pair of clip pliers to pull this little pin out. I'm going to remove it all the way, and that allows me to really push the inner fender liner in. There's one more plastic clip that we're going to remove in the top of the fender liner. Remove that with a pair of clip pliers. And that'll make it so it can pop at least halfway out. This will give us access to then pull on the bumper to release it from the front bumper support. Using a quick detailing spray, I'm going to spray and then clean this area, and then I'm going to tape it up so when I'm taking the bumper off and putting it back on, I don't risk scratching where it's going to reattach to. Using a bit of painter's tape, I'm going to tape right at the seam of the front bumper and the front fender. Go ahead and do the same thing we just did on the other side. Remove this 10mm on the side. Do the same thing on the other side. Remove the connector off of the fog light. Push in on this tab and pull down. There's a harness connector here. Push this little tab towards the front and pull up, and it will release it. And now we have our harness disconnected from the bumper. Go ahead and do the same thing on the other side. Remove all the clips on the upper radiator trim cover. Push straight down. This puts them in the unlocked position. When you pull up, the clips will kind of pull up on you. Try and gather them as they come up so you don't lose them. On the 2 sides, we're going to push in this front clip and pull up on this trim. I'm going to take these clips out. Just so I don't lose them. That makes it able for me to take out the upper radiator trim, put this to the side, remove the clips for the front grille, To remove the upper grille, reach down and there will be these little tabs all along. We are going to lift up on the tab and pull forward. This will put it in the unlocked position. Pop them out. Keep going down the line. And then pull straight out. Remove the 3 clips on the front of the bumper. Using a pair of clip removal pliers. Pulling the wheel arch molding back, push the fender liner down and put your hand behind the front bumper. And we're going to pull straight out and release the clips. Then we're going to go and do the same thing on the other side. Once you have the other side undone, it's a good idea to have a second person to help you remove the bumper and put this somewhere safe off to the side. Remove the screw on the side near the fender, 10 millimeter. Remove the 2 10 millimeter screws on top of the headlight. We're going to use a little flat blade screwdriver and kind of just pry down and put it in between here. There's a little plastic indent on the headlight that grabs onto this metal plate. Once we do that, we can start to slide the headlight forward, and you'll go to the top and you'll lift up on this little tab and do the same thing in the back. Pull straight forward. We're going to remove the harness off of this headlight. I'm going to undo this connector. I push down on the tab and pull straight up. We're going to undo this headlight connector, pushing down on the tab and I'm pulling out. Do the same thing on the high beam. And to release the harness from the headlight assembly, and use a pair of needle nose pliers, squeeze on these 2 tabs, and push that clip up, and then you can remove the headlight. We're going to install that plastic clip into the new headlight assembly, install the harness connector, install the headlight connector, and the high beam. Then we're ready to install the headlight. Line this up with the channel and push straight back. These will kind of clip into place. They come with this plastic on them. I like to pull it up just enough so that it's not going to get caught in the front fender, but I like to leave it on until I'm done the installation just to make sure that I don't get any scratches on it. Install the 2 top bolts. And the one on the side by the fender. The process is going to be the same for both sides. Install the bumper. Start on one side. You're going to line it up and you're going to push the clips into place. Go around front headlight. Make sure that these front clip spots are lining up correctly. Install the 3 clips into the front grille trim area. These are going to be the clips that we're going to be pushing in. If you taped your bumper, go ahead and remove that tape now. Pull the inner fender liner over this little plastic piece and make sure it's sitting inside of the front bumper. And we're going to go down and push this trim piece into place. pushing all of our clips in. Sure that the inner fender liner is sitting behind the wheel arch. Install your clips. There's one in the front and one in the top. The little flathead clip we will reinstall. It's keyed, so it only comes out one way. Push that in. Give it a quarter turn to lock it in, and install your two 10mm bolts. Install the harness connector onto the side of the fog light bezel, and install the connector into the fog light. Push until you hear a click. Pull this front up, make sure it's sitting inside of the front bumper, and then we'll install a 10mm bolt in the side over here. Do the same thing on the other side. Install the engine splash shield. Screw in your bolts. It's a good idea to put anti-seize on these so they're easy to come out every time. The screw thread ones go up front. And the fine bolt thread ones go in middle. The cover for the inner fender liner is supposed to be under the front shield. It's also supposed to tuck into this bumper. Install the two clips. And there's one in the middle. Then go around and tighten up all your bolts. Install the upper grille. Install the clips into the upper grille. Install the upper cowl piece. Make sure it goes under these two side pieces, one here and one here. Install the clips. Before putting these back in, you want to put them all in the unlocked position. Push up from the bottom. Make sure the little top is poking out.
Now we're going to get the vehicle ready to aim the headlights. Start with the tire pressure, making sure all 4 tires are set at the appropriate pressure. Remove any excessive weight that's not normally in the vehicle. Find a wall that you can drive up to where the ground is level. Measure 25 feet away from that wall and mark the ground. Drive your vehicle up to that mark. With the headlights off, look for the center dot in the headlight lens. Measure from the ground to that center dot. You can use a ruler to help you out. Transferring that measurement to the wall, making a mark with some tape. On the driver's side, measure down 4 inches, putting another piece of tape. For the passenger side, you only need to measure down 2 inches. Now turning the headlights on, it is easier to do this at night or in a dark area. Locating your headlight adjuster and using a Phillips head screwdriver, turn your adjuster one way or another to bring the headlight up or down. Once the headlight is adjusted to the tape mark on the wall, move on to the next headlight. If you're confused because the beams seem to blend together, you can always have someone stand in front of the other headlight while you make your adjustments for that one. Now your headlights are aligned and you're all set to go.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.